Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to City Skylines, where we have been busy getting rid of low-density housing and replacing it with hundreds of thousands of towers, both for commercial purposes and for more residents. Because now that we have billions of dollars and literally cannot make any more, we're now aiming to get as high a population as possible without the game totally collapsing. So we're doing pretty well. We're almost at 300,000 people. And with the rezoning efforts last time, the number continues to go up. And then we have this island over here that's continuing to grow as well. But we need more. So much more. So we are going to go across the SIP here and turn this area into a huge new area of the city. But again, that's if the world doesn't collapse before then. So we'll try our best. And we'll get started. So, I've brought the world grid of our city, as in the grid we've been using for the rest of the city here, over into this corner so we can get to work. And then we have to do things a little weirdly over here. Ideally, all of this would be high density residential, except there's one major problem: pollution. You see, all of our industrial stuff has been a little stinky. And all of that pollution has gone down this way, making this area uninhabitable. So our city will be split up between some residential and then something else. But we'll figure that out later. This is kind of our marker though, between the unsafe zone and the safe zone. So we'll have to keep that in mind. All right, now first things first though, we need to expand this grid over quite a bit. So we'll bring some of the roads down this way, and then look across the way here to see if we can bring any other roads to connect to it. Like ideally, we'd bring, I don't know, a big 6-lane road straight across the pond and call it a day. Like we'll have the highway having exits and entrances all over, right? But I still want there to be just normal roads for people to drive across. Problem is, a lot of them are kind of in weird spots. Like say we have a road from A to B, right? That still doesn't really detract from the highway usage. Like people would just use the highway to get across still. But we probably have a road over here that we could use. Again, we have another 6-lane road here. And that could be pretty handy actually. But it would be more handy if we connected up to this side. That's just because the highway is really hooked up well to the right here. So again, if we build that bridge, there's no point to it. People are just going to use the highway. However, to the right of the highway over here, a little road bridge could probably get a lot of good use. If we just went from here, for example, straight on across, then theoretically, vehicles on this half of the city will be like, hey, let's just go towards this bridge here to get to the city over there, instead of using the highway. At least that's what I'm thinking. And I think that could work pretty well. So let's continue with the thought. And continue this road all the way down here. In fact, we're gonna go right up into the highway, and then underneath the highway. Usually now, I don't like using tunnels, but this is getting a little out of control. So we're gonna use tunnels just this one time. We're gonna bring that to here, and then further up. And then on this side of the highway, we're getting into that polluted zone, so we can have all of our dumpsters and, I don't know, service buildings and whatnot. Maybe even a hospital. Okay, maybe not a hospital, but you're catching my drift. No, most of the traffic will want to go over here, cross the highway, and we'll have this be a massive residential block. But we'll have the main road kind of scoot over here, through the highway somehow. By somehow, I mean FutureKibitz is gonna figure that out. So that the road goes to here, over to there, and then we can have a highway connection at this point. So vehicles can enter the city from here, and then leave and go over there. Easy. And that will allow us to also add in a huge grid to this, so we can add in all the residential stuff. And so expanding on those ideas quite a bit, we now have a very weird looking system that'll work out just fine. The highway stuff was done properly now, so it's not super evil. There's a roundabout here that goes underground, connecting with these other two 3-lane roads. And also we have a super block with a bunch of highway entrances and exits right here. So people can go to the highways if they want, leave the, what? Leave the highways if they want and do whatever. What happened here? How did a car get out of the way here? That is like, what the? Oh my gosh. This vehicle's like upside down, sir. You can't be just standing where the vehicle is. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Oh my gosh, for a second I thought she'd lost her arms, but no. Yeah, that's quite the little backup there. Anyway, it'll be fine, probably. Yeah, sure. And then one last note with the highway designs here. There's one major thing I really don't want to happen, is that I don't want vehicles to cut through the residential zone to get to this highway. Like say, for example, a truck is going down this highway and wants to get going in that other direction. What I want them to do is continue on the highway, go through the hook here, and then go back this way. But knowing traffic AI in this game, they're probably gonna take this exit, go down here, go through this way, all these roundabouts and all of this hassle to save maybe like 0.1 seconds. So we're going to actually let things play out for a moment and see if that actually does happen, or if I'm just being paranoid. I don't think I'm being paranoid though. I know one of these vehicles is gonna do something goofy. Just which one is gonna be first? Get out of that lane, get out of the lane. But as we wait here, I did some rezoning over here just to make sure that vehicles go straight ahead. And I also wanna see if vehicles go from here through this road to get to like the highway or something silly. Like people from this bridge should just go to like residential zones and workplaces. They shouldn't try to get to the highway over here. Because if that starts to happen, that's gonna cause a lot more traffic later on. Like, where are you going? Edna? You're going to this place? Where's this place? What? Over to there? What? How? Why did you drive on the highway? What? To go to there? I don't know where they could have started. Why would they not just drive down the main street to there? Why would they go across the bridge and back? Okay, that's weird. Uh-oh. Even worse, though. A truck. What are you doing? Where are you going? Over to there. Oh no, that's exactly what I thought would happen. This truck, wherever the heck it went, is doing the meme. Oh, there it is. That truck is gonna go underground, pop out here, go over here, and then merge onto the highway. So it's skipping the hook. And here come even more trucks. Yep. What can we do to stop that? Oh, what the heck? This one's going the other way, though? This one's gonna go this way? Weird. But no matter, it's still the same kind of problem. There's a few options we have, though, I think. We can make this a zone, which we will at some point, and we can ban heavy traffic. So trucks won't be able to enter this area and can only use the highways, which would solve our problems a little bit, except what's gonna end up happening is we're going to have some heavy industry stuff over here, because there's no other use for the land. It's all super polluted, right? So we have to have heavy industry. Another option is we could just ignore the potential issue. That could work out pretty well. Like, how much traffic is really gonna go down here? Like truck traffic, I mean, right? Probably not like a ton. Is that a helicopter? What are you doing there? Anyway, probably not a ton of traffic, right? So maybe it will just be fine. And our road network can handle like an extra truck or two doing a little spooky nonsense. And yep, ignoring problems is the easy solution. So let's just continue to build. Now that we have all these main roads in, yeah, things are kind of straightforward. We just go ahead and we start gridding up the rest of the area and gridding up as much as we possibly can. This is probably the last space in our whole city, because of the pollution, that we can actually get a population center in. So we want a lot of zoning tiles here. And we want them to be perfect and not like this. So it'll take a minute setting all that up. So good. Look at that. It's beautiful. Almost. It's pretty much as good as we're gonna get, I think. Yeah, that is our population center. And then we can have some more population stuff up here. Over here, though, or get into the weird polluted zone. So with this space, we're going to kind of make it pretty distinct. I've added in an extra road here so we can change the main grid of the city. So like we're doing earlier, we brought the main grid from this side over to here. But now, since we're going to be working on kind of an angle over here, now we're going to let it be on an angle. And it also is like another visual thing just for us in our planning to see that, hey, this is the polluted zone, this is the unpolluted zone. So we'll kind of have this be like a border for what is like habitable and not habitable. And since we're on the inhabitable side, one thing we could do is add in some public transport. In particular, a ferry system. This is like the perfect spot for one. You could just have the harbor here. That can connect up then to the harbor over there and to the wider city. So people actually use the ferry system instead of not using the ferry system. And again, I don't think I've checked the numbers in a long time. How many people are using the ferries? Like 1%? Less than 1% of people? Oh. All numbers are make-believe anyway. And now we'll try and merge both of these sections. So we'll go like over this way and try and connect up to kind of the blocks that we're establishing over here. Or maybe we could just have this road continue through. And then when we're tiling this zone up, we kind of have curves like that going. I'm not sure. It's gonna be kind of hard to mix the zoning tiles. And even worse than that, the zoning tiles are gonna be all weird. Because unfortunately, if you're not building in perfect grids, you're gonna get a ton of wasted space like this. I suppose though, we want the perfect spacing for the residents more so than the industry stuff. Like we can have this whole coast be industry stuff. We could be a little bit more lax on the zoning tiles at this point. And all things considered, I'd say we've done pretty well here. Like it looks a little odd, but I kind of like it. The roundabouts kind of make this area look a little alien too, which is kind of fun. But no, these kind of grids just start heading over in this direction and we can continue this pattern all the way down the coast. And I've changed up a little bit how we have the roundabouts here. So now people from the highway can either skip underneath this roundabout to go to here, into the rest of the system there, and then the underground area connects up to here and to this main road going in this direction. I wanted to do this because there's gonna be a lot of traffic going to industrial areas soon, and I don't want them kind of cutting through the main road of the residential zone. It'll make it loud, and it'll make people unhappy, cause too much traffic, and all that kind of fun stuff. But no, that should be fine. Ooh, also, I can finally show you guys part of my grand master strategy. You see, with this whole entire city, I knew eventually we're gonna build out this way and loop it back around into this part of the town. I just didn't know exactly how we'd go about it. But now that we have this road here, we can continue this way, over all this nonsense, and then down to here, and then past Kibs, left this other main road right down here. That just goes to nowhere. Because I knew in the future, we'd be using it. And the future is now. The whole world is connected. The master plan is in place. And we have all of the connections hooked up so vehicles can go wherever they need to. It's a beautiful thing. And even better is that I didn't mention that there's some goodies that are along this adventure. Like oil. Lots of oil. And also some farmland, tons of lumber that we'll get later. That's apparently bugged out. And minerals out the wazoo. So many little treasures to get. So little time. But population is number one here, so let me finish up all of the grid work. Then we can get to services. That didn't take too much work, but there we go. The rest of the grid is in, just trying to get all the zoning tiles I possibly could. And also, look at this vehicle. How did you get here? How are you on fire? I'm pretty sure this vehicle was dropped from a plane. Oh, wait a second. Burning car near the river? Oh, that's not a traffic accident. That's That's some criminals doing some stuff. Never mind. Back to the rest of the city. Over here, I zoned all of this in as a funky little microchip. And this is actually going to be low density residential. Because right next door is a huge oil patch. And I kind of have my doubts that this would zone in as high density stuff because it's going to be a little stinky. But no, it should be all fine. Down here though, it'll be away from the stink and we can have this all be the high density stuff. But before we get zoning, we got to get the services in and then the public transport. So hospital, well, that's going to go right in the middle of town here because why not? And we'll have that operate in worker subunit 9. We're also gonna need a police headquarters that can go, could go actually here. This is a kind of a nice spot. It's in between all of the highways and all of the areas. Yeah, this is really good. Definitely keep people under control there. Then a fire station just across the way next to all the oil stuff. Because we do not want the oil stuff catching on fire. That would be a little spooky and would lose us money. And as for schools, elementary schools, we just throw those literally everywhere. They don't really matter most of the time. We just need a lot of them. Like there and stuff. High school, we need one. We have like no demand practically ever for high schools, but I like to build them around just so we have them per district. And we're just gonna build that kind of out of the way, probably just up here. I see a little bit of space, we use a little bit of space. It's a good time. Also, the high school by the highways just makes sense, right? Stupid teenagers are gonna be loud anyway. Might as well drown out their loudness with all the highway loud stuff. But then the one thing we truly do need a lot of are more universities. So we're gonna have the university right in front of the harbor for two reasons. Number one, again, this area is hyper polluted. So why not have the university there, right? It's not like people are living there. And number two, it'll also entice people to use the ferry system more. Because if people want to go to school, the easiest way probably is to go use the ferry to get to the university. And off they go. Can we get a library on that? Maybe. But no, that's the basics for now. And then we can throw in the mail and the internet stuff a little bit later on. Wait. No, that would be perfect right there, thank you. Okay, anyway, the mail stuff we can throw in later on. We have all the space in the world for kind of those utility type things across the railway here. But with all of like the civil stuff in, let's start building a subway. We're gonna have a little subway system that's not too overly complicated. Scooting around here. We'll have it by the harbor, of course. Scoot up over here because there's gonna be offices out the wazoo. Then through the center of town, just here and there. And it will turn over this way, like that, and end up somewhere in the residential zone. We can just have the subway cars go up to there, then bounce back to there, through the main city, and you're catching my drift. We'll make it look better later. The one thing we're not gonna do though is connect this subway network to the subway network on the island here. And I don't know if the logic's sound with this, but my thinking is, if we have a ton of population based here, and a bunch of workspaces here, I'm thinking most of the population that lives here will just work right next door. And that way, we won't have as much traffic. Whereas if I connect the public transit network over here, then someone living, hey, like way on this side of the island will take the public transit all the way down here and take the jobs from the local people in this subunit. Now times that kind of scenario by 1,000,000, and we could have people that are living down here end up working like way down here, and they'll probably drive, and that will cause more traffic. So you see what I'm saying? It's keeping the workers and their factories localized. But even if the logic checks out, the game's so broken we won't know anyway. Whatever. Anyway, did a little bit more rezoning stuff and getting some of the services in. Got the radio masts in for internet. University was extended a little bit. Some parks here and there. Football fields. The sports. The death care for the useless people. And elementary schools out the wazoo. And this area is looking pretty much good to go. So zoning wise, it's simple. High density. Forever. at least over here. And then all of the commercial stuff will just go onto this end, along with a bunch of high density offices. Then like I was saying up north, all of this is gonna be low density. And people can chill next to the oil field and have the time of their lives. Which now means this area is ready to go. Well, almost ready to go. Of course, I had to go through and do a little bit of tinkering. I was thinking about like the height variations and stuff, and I was like, I don't want too many towers too close together. All that kind of fun stuff, but generally stick to the same concept. Commercial and like workplaces here, livable areas there, and this area doesn't really matter too much. Did I dodge the smog though? Kind of forgot. Which was our median road? Was it this one here? How are we looking? Oh, pretty good. Really good actually, yeah. I think the lowest level of smog doesn't really matter too much, and that should work out just fine. We're good to go then, I think. Let's let her rip. I suppose the only thing worth mentioning that's left is added in some parking here and there, but I don't even know if we'll need much parking. Again, if our logic checks out, where the people living here will work in the same subunit, then traffic will be fine. Oh my gosh, though. That was a lot of demand for high density offices. Holy macaroni, Batman. It's gonna be a busy place. Then over this way, anything zoning in yet? No, not really. Low density is, of course, but that's fine. And what is the problem here? Not enough vehicles. Oh, whoops. I forgot to hook up the subway cars into this network. My bad. There's always gonna be something. We'll just have the cars go underneath here, scoot underneath the whole total disaster that we have built, and then out and around here. Perfect. Oh yes, and traffic. What is going on with the traffic here? Why are the vehicles so slow? Everyone's trying to merge to go over this way? Oh, okay, because this goes where? To this part of the city, in this highway. Okay, that's fine. Traffic over here. It's a little crazy, but considering how this game works, this isn't too bad. I wonder once all is said and done, man, how many people are we gonna have here? 350,000? 400,000? But after waiting only a little bit, we got another 10,000 citizens. And I'm gonna guess that's because this area is filled in. Oh yeah. Mostly with the offices and shops though. The people haven't moved in just yet. It's kinda weird in that regard. I guess they've moved into the low density area, whatever. Slowly but surely though, everything else is gonna fill in. As for the rest of the area here, traffic has been fine. I haven't noticed any major problems anywhere. That might just be because of our population and the game can't load in any more vehicles. But also, it just seems to be that the intersections and how I've developed things are done pretty well. Like here we have a little bit of traffic, but it's nothing really that bad. And over this way, a little bit more, and we always have the occasional truck that wants to scoot through here as a cheat way to get to the highway. But it hasn't been so big of a problem as to like make me concerned. And over here, this bridge is being used quite a bit. Okay, a little bit. It's being used. Does it need to be 6 lanes? Probably not, but I'm happy to see it's getting some use. Any use over here takes away from traffic from the highway, and the highway is where things are always gonna get the craziest. But right now, everything is running just fine. But anyway, it looks like this area is done and fantastic. There's no traffic, everyone's happy, no one dying of smog, and everything's great. And next time, we can start scooping all of the oil and finishing up the rest of the city here. So anyway, that is all for now. But if you enjoyed, remember to subscribe for more. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.